Hello and welcome to the Coloring Collective. Today we're going to color this flower right here with the little birdhouse. Let's go ahead and gather up our supplies. We'll be coloring today from the Johanna Basford Magical Worlds coloring book. I like to use the Castle Arts colored pencils, the Soft Touch, and I've got a set of 120. It's also nice to have an eraser and a pencil sharpener handy. Golden Yellow Deep 006. I'm going to start this color just down the center of these petals here. I'm getting a majority of the middle part colored in. Now I'm only going to use this yellow color on this exact flower. They're all going to be yellow, but I'm going to use different shades. And I think I'm also going to use this down here in that birdhouse, just so it matches. Cadmium Yellow Deep 075. So I'm going to use this to come behind each petal and just color partway across like that, and then come down into here, just into the very center of the flower, and then I'm going to color a little bit lighter around it so I can blend it with another color. So I'll do the same thing over here, and this way the petal looks like it's underneath this other petal. So just real carefully get around those little things. And I'm going to come all the way up to this outside part here, and then all the way down. And the same with this one here. And right there. This is a nice one to color. It's almost springtime. There we go. That's all of them. Cadmium Orange 017. And just like we did with the other yellow, I'm going to come down here to this birdhouse and color something down here also. I think I'll get the top of this roof part here. Just about half, not all the way across. Cadmium Orange 017. This is a nice dark orange color to use for the center of the flower here. So I'm just going to carefully come around in sort of a zigzag shape here. And I'm also going to color these little lines in here. And I'm actually going to do this on all 3 flowers. And same as before, I'm going to color part of the birdhouse here. I think I'll just color about halfway across. I'm pressing pretty hard for most of it and then getting a little bit lighter. Golden Yellow 003. I'm just going to use this for the very ends of these flower petals here where these 3 little dots are. And then also around these little parts here. Very careful not to accidentally color in those little circles, because I'm going to make those a different color. Now I'm also going to use this color over here on this flower, and I'm going to color most of the way across. Just leave the very top and the side empty, because this is going to be, you know, the same flower but a different shade, just to give it some variety. And I'm pushing pretty hard with the pencil, but this is a very light color, so it can be kind of hard to see. And just across here. Tangerine 020. So now I'm going to use this for under the flower petal because it's a much darker color. And then I'm going to bring it all the way down to the center of the flower and blend it pretty nicely with the yellow we just colored. So I'll come all the way up to the top of the petal and then all the way into the center of the flower. And same over here. All the way down and all the way out. And we're just going to continue this pattern all the way around. looks like right here might be the other one. Naples Yellow Light 073. This is about the lightest color that comes in this set of pencils. So I'm just going to very carefully color it around the edge here, and then also come into the middle and blend it with that orange and that other color. Again, be very careful not to color those little circles. It's so light that it's almost hard to tell where you've colored. Venetian Red 021. I'm going to use this for all of these little spots on the flower. So just real carefully take your time, color all these little details. And then over here to this flower. Now next to this set of flowers, you can see I've got a blue mushroom that I did, and that one I did long before I started making these videos. Let's also color some of this birdhouse here. Let's color this birdhouse down here. But underneath this is another set of flowers, and I do have a video of that one if you wanted to see. It is on my channel, and you can also like and subscribe, and you can see how far into this book, the Johanna Basford Magical Worlds book, I'm attempting to color the entire thing. So follow along with me as I try to do every page in the book. We shall see. And I'm just blending this really carefully with the orange. Lemon Yellow Light 001. I'm going to use this color for the very center. It's nice and bright. And I also think I'm going to use it out here for this part of this petal. So I'm just going to color where these little polka dots are. And then down in the center, I think also. Well, no, I'll just leave it right here. Brilliant Yellow 009. I'm going to use this for the center of these petals, and then lightly blend it with that light yellow that I just colored for the very top of the petals there, just like that. And I'm going to come down here just through the center. Do the same thing around each petal. I'm still leaving some of the middle of the flower empty because I am going to come in with a bit of a darker color. Very carefully, just coloring the center here. And blending it with that other yellow. And I think I'm also going to use this down here for this part of the birdhouse. And maybe this little strip of pieces there. Cadmium Yellow Deep 075. I'm going to bring this color back to do this underneath part of the petals there. So just on each side, I'm going to do along the side like a half moon shape. Just like that, so it looks like it's underneath the other petal. And right along here. And last but not least, one last little petal here. All right. Castle Green Deep 057. This is a nice color for grass and leaves. It's nice and bright and isn't too, you know, dull looking. It keeps it nice and colorful. Almost like a shamrock green I've seen in other sets of colored pencils. So I'm just doing the tops of these leaves here. I'm going to pick a different color for the other part of the leaf. And under here, under the birdhouse, and maybe a few of these little blades of grass, maybe every other one. I also think I'm going to color along the bottom here just a little bit so it looks like it's a little patch of grass. And then come back really lightly. Juniper Green 056. This is a nice color for the stems of the flowers, but I'm only going to come about part way up. Very carefully stay in the lines here. And I'm going to color underneath the birdhouse here. And then this little patch of grass, just get some of the edges, maybe like that, and around the middle. I think I'll pick a third green color to do for the leaves. So now I'm going to come in and get the grass blades here, but I'm still going to leave some empty for the next color. Look carefully. So I'm just leaving 3 or 4 of them empty. Prussian green 055. This is a nice dark green, so I'm going to use it for the stems here. Very carefully, make sure your pencil's really sharp. And I'm also going to get inside the birdhouse. There we go. Nice and dark green. I'll come down here and do these blades of grass. As well as this little part of the flower stems. It's actually pretty close to the other green color, so make sure you press pretty hard so you can see the difference. Viridian 052. Turns out this one wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it, so I'm going to come back over with an even, oh my! All right, I'm back. It looks like my pencil lead was a little bit broken inside, which is fine. I just sharpened it up. I'm coloring carefully over the parts that I just did because it just wasn't dark enough for me. I wanted it to be really, really contrast against the other color. There we go. And I'm also going to come under here and do this one. Leaf green 111. And this is the green I'm going to use to finish up these leaves right here. Very carefully. Oh, looks like this pencil lead is also a little bit loose and wobbly. So just color very carefully so you don't break it. That happens sometimes. And it looks like with this, we are just about done. So thank you so much for coloring along with me. Let's take a look at the whole thing. Looks good. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I will see you next time.